right, everybody, if I could have your attention, we're going to get started here. Unfortunately, since our last Hall of Fame ceremony, we have lost 3 Hall of Fame members. You're going to see their photo here on the screens. We lost Billy Joe Morgan, Francisco Blanco, and Mike Smith. So if we could have a moment of silence for them, please. Thank you. So, even though we've been going for a little bit here, let me officially welcome you to the 2023 and 2024 Providence Bank, formerly Coastal Bank and Trust, Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Hall of Fame. So before we do anything else, we want to recognize Providence Bank. This event could not happen without them. They've been a longtime sponsor. So if I could get Richard, if I could get any of your board and any of your staff that are here to please stand. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you for all that you do. And in case you were wondering, they've signed a lifetime contract for this event. So you'll see them for many more years. I also want to thank our other sponsors that are here for this event and who do so much for us throughout the year. If I could get anyone from Marine Chevrolet and Golden Corral, if they could please stand. Thank you so much. So we want to recognize some folks that are here tonight. I want to recognize our Sports Commission board members. So if you would stand when I call your name, and let's hold the applause to the end. Steve Wangren, Dr. Scott Playford, Jim Sheehan, Ed Garris, Meredith Williams, Keith Williams, Shelby Dill, Carol McIntyre, Brandon Mills, and Director Emeritus John Kopka. If you could give them a round of applause, please. And I want to recognize the staff of the Sports Commission. They make me look good. Actually, they make me look bad because they're 2 beautiful women and I'm the old, ugly, bald guy up here. So Marisa Reeder and Judy Pelez standing in the back there. And I want to thank our intern, David Dalzell, for helping with the silent auction items. He did a great job with that. So some other special guests that we have here, I want to recognize our county representatives. If you would stand and we'll hold the applause to the end. Our Onslow County Manager, David Smitherman, is here. We have County Commissioner Chairman Tim Foster. And we have County Commissioners Lisa Carpenter, Royce Bennett, and Mark Price. If you could give them a round of applause. Our city officials couldn't be here. They are in budget meetings this evening, but we could not do what we do at the Sports Commission, bringing sporting events to town, to bring visitors to town, without the support of the city and county. So we thank them very, very much. Is there anyone that I inadvertently missed from any of those groups? All right, so we're here at a Hall of Fame event. So let's make sure we recognize the Hall of Famers who are in attendance. So again, if you'll hold your applause to the end, and I will ask these folks to stand. We have 2 Hero Spirit Award winners with us here tonight, Glenn Hargett and John Kopka. From the class of 2023 and part of the White Oak baseball team being honored tonight, Louis Meadows. From the class of 2006 and part of the White Oak baseball team, Chucky Kennedy. Class of 2009, Bob Sanders. Class of 2016, Homer Spring. And class of 2019, Jim Sheehan. Let's give them a round of applause. You notice you heard several of those names in several different groups, and that's because they're an integral part of our community. So the classes of 23 and 24 will be joining a prestigious group tonight. So we thank those Hall of Fame members for being here. If you've never been to the Hall of Fame, it's located in the Commerce Center at 1099 Gum Branch Road here in Jacksonville. That's where you can find the plaques if you ever want to visit. So each year, the Sports Commission accepts nominations for the Providence Bank Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Hall of Fame. Consideration is given to character, integrity, sportsmanship, while other criteria must be fulfilled as well. Criteria ranges from state or higher athletic recognition while a resident of Onslow County or while stationed at Camp Lejeune, Camp Geiger, Camp Johnson, on Marine Corps Air Station New River while they were serving in the military, or for being a coach or a special contributor who has made a significant impact on sports in Onslow County. Tonight's inductees each have a lasting impact on their community. Tonight we have several first ballot Hall of Famers, which tells you of the quality of these classes. In some of the videos that you're going to see, the introduction videos, you're only going to hear a little snippet about their lives. So I encourage you to take your program when you get home tonight, read those bios, because I know they're not going to brag on themselves too much, and there's just a whole lot there for you to get to know about them. So without any further ado, let's meet our first inductee.
It was a sign in Blue Creek Elementary School out there in their front of the school, soccer sign-ups. I thought, Amanda might like soccer. At that point, it was a question whether or not she could even be on the team because she was a girl, but they did. She was on the team. When she had her first jersey, 5 years old, she wanted her number to be 100. Why? I don't know, but that was the request, and she received it. She was the only girl on the youth team, and she was 100.
The first soccer game I ever watched Amanda play was in the 3rd grade. It was out at the Dixon rec fields behind the middle school. I had rode out with my neighbor to watch him play and was surprised to see Amanda was on his team. Back then, we didn't have a girls' team and a boys' team at that age level, so if you wanted to play, you had to play with the boys. As I watched, I thought, why is this girl from my class playing soccer with these boys? Then I realized it's because she could. Even at such a young age, amongst boys, Amanda was good. She stood out. She stood out to the point where I knew she was going to be amazing one day.
So Amanda did well. She always seemed to be a forward, scoring the goals. And then when she was on primarily a girls' team in Jacksonville, she did really well. When she played high school soccer at Dixon, they were very happy with Amanda and they supported her. When she went to ECU, it's just a group. She's one person leaving a group of girls going to make herself in a new team.
I first met Amanda in 1998. She was an incoming freshman and I was a sophomore at East Carolina University. And we played together on the East Carolina women's soccer team. Go Pirates, R. So I have a lot of special and funny memories of Amanda. With the advancement of technology in the world of social media, I was able to have a seat and watch Amanda's career explode and take off through the years. Amanda has had a significant impact on my life, and for that I am eternally grateful. And I'm sure for those in the audience, you can say the same thing. And so I'm just, again, grateful that my life is better because of Amanda's intentionality.
Congratulations, Amanda. Who would have thought I would be sitting here congratulating you on something that you dearly love and you have excelled at. Many people have you in their hearts, on their minds. Congratulations. We love you.
As you speak on your next objectives, I wish you only the best because I know that is exactly what you and they will be. I can't wait for all of us here tonight and those beyond these doors to see the impact you continue to strive in sports. In closing, I want to say congratulations on your induction to the Hall of Fame. I can't wait to see what you'll do next. I love you. You amaze me, and you will continue to amaze me. Soccer rules.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2023 Providence Bank Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Amanda Duffy.
That was so nice. Thank you. Wow, what an honor to be here. I stand here with such immense gratitude and pride. Receiving awards was never a part of my dreams or imagination, any part of my plans when the sports journey started for me, especially not a Hall of Fame. So proud and so grateful. Start by thanking Scott Smith, the Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Commission, Mr. Robert Colley, a former teacher who nominated me for this recognition, and the Sports Commission's selection committee for your support of my nomination. I'm humbled to receive this recognition and to be counted among the many great individual athletes, teams, coaches, and administrators who have called Onslow County home. Shout out to my fellow class of 2023, and also a congratulations to all of the the inductees tonight from the class of 2023 and the class of 2024. We're certainly joining an esteemed group. I stand here knowing that while I, as an individual, am being recognized, there are many who are a part of this honor who have been a part of this journey with me for a long time, with their sacrifices, with their courage, their support, and their love, most importantly. Starting with my family, I must express my deep and heartfelt appreciation to my parents, my sister, my grandparents, my aunt and uncle, and many others. You all have been unwavering pillars of support. You've been an inspiration, and you've been my most ardent supporters, offering love and encouragement that has sustained me through every triumph and every setback. Growing up, seeping through the walls of our home was the importance of work ethic, respect, sportsmanship, education, and character. These remain a constant in my life still today. I can never say thank you, and I love you enough. I think about my friends and my teammates from Dixon, from East Carolina, and beyond, and I recall the simply priceless moments and learnings with so many people whom I cherish still today. At Dixon, I was so fortunate to attend and compete in school sports with a group that was equally as competitive as I. In preparing for tonight, and after my mom handed off bags and bags of pictures and newspaper articles that she had saved, I came across a piece from Mr. Harvey Bradshaw from the Tops of Voice from May 1998 titled "Dixon's Faithful Five, They Had a Dream." The five: Holly Sanders, who's here tonight, who I love so much, Lisa Lowry, Anna Anderson, Nicole Paget, and myself. He wrote about the five of us as graduating seniors, about our coming together in Dixon Middle sports teams and the culmination of our years together in our senior seasons of volleyball, basketball, and soccer. He wrote, "The faithful five, they had a dream. They led the Lady Bulldogs to 3 undefeated conference championships in 3 sports their senior year. They are more than exceptional athletes. They are excellent students, respected leaders, caring people. We shall not soon see their like again." It makes my heart smile to think about these words, these people, and our growth together. I shared so many moments and have so many memories from high school, from ECU, the teams I played on after college, and I can say I have yet to find anything that can replace the bond that is built inside the locker rooms and inside the lines of competition. I also want to acknowledge and express my appreciation for my coaches, my teachers, mentors, colleagues along the way. I'm forever indebted to their kindness, guidance, and expertise that helped shape me into the person standing here today. So many had a confidence in me that I didn't always have in myself, and sometimes saw a future that I could not yet imagine. And for them to create the environments for me to learn, fail, grow, and thrive has been their invaluable contributions to where and who I am now. I'm so immensely grateful for every person and every step of my life so far, the good and the bad, the easy and the hard, the triumphs and the losses. This process has been particularly interesting for me. I was nominated in 2022, named in 2023 to the class of 2023, and we're celebrating here in 2024. It's been a period, these 2 to 3 years have coincided with a distinctly different period of my life than any of the years prior. It's been a period of change, of reflection, of a rigorous pursuit of a much greater understanding of my life, my work, my relationships, and the interconnectedness of it all. You just heard a little story about my life. It's a story that tells of a person's journey who became an athlete, who fell in love with sports at a young age, who loved competing, who loved developing, and of course loved winning. From the athlete to the administrator, it was the absence of the opportunity to play professionally in the United States that inspired my work to drive the growth of the sport and business of soccer in the U.S., with a special interest, of course, to bring women's soccer and women's sports along with it. Over time, though, the inspiration of building and pouring myself into a sport I love so much evolved into a focus on protecting a job title, protecting an income, and protecting power. Amidst numerous thrills and so many life-changing experiences, in 2021 and 2022, I'd arrived at a new and different kind of inflection point, one that involved the internal questioning of, how do I lead when the light of inspiration has gone dark inside? And how do I grow when there are no seeds planted for me to water? It was the most challenging place I'd been, ever. I'm reminded often that within the larger definition of success, which does include job titles and does include individual accomplishments, the part of the definition that matters most is that which gives measure to the lives we touch, the communities we enrich, and the legacy we leave behind. It's having an impact that serves a greater good beyond any one thing or any one person. I've been fortunate to do that through sports right here in Onslow County, up the road in Greenville, across the United States, and with ripple effects around the globe. As I've been standing in the space between two doors, one behind me of the known and defined past, and one in front of me with an unknown and undefined future, I'm so excited to take more steps towards a full emergence through the door in front of me. So tonight's an important moment in time for me. I accept tonight as a tribute, this honor tonight as a tribute to my past accomplishments, but also in my emergence, tonight serves as a challenge to myself and a steadfast commitment to pursue excellence in all that I do, to use my platform to uplift others in the spirit of serving the greater good, and to pay forward the kindness and support that have brought me to this moment, regardless of title and regardless of income. And for us all, I challenge us all to have a dream, for us all to be inspired, to plant our own seeds for growth, to find what it is that will keep our own light illuminated, to make a positive impact wherever we may be, to be caring people, and to leave a legacy worthy of a Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Let's hear it one more time for Amanda. Sticking with a soccer theme, let's meet our next inductee.
As someone would blow the whistle, I saw this little blonde-headed girl just take off in front of everybody. And they blew the whistle again, and next time she ran, she just took off in front of everybody and blew the whistle again. So when we got together, picked a team, I did mine. I made one change. I added Stephanie.
Knowing that she was probably the best player on the field, she actually made her teammates better by virtue of her effort, her play, her enthusiasm, her will and want to win. It's something that not every girl has, or not every player has, not every talented player has, and she did possess that.
You could really tell that she was going to be a difference maker on the field and with her teammates. One of her greatest attributes was when she was with the other girls, she fitted in so good. Never was all about her. It was always about the team, whatever I asked Stephanie to do.
We had an opportunity to forever be known as national champions, and that was the challenge, and that was the challenge that whole entire team faced and came through with the championship, and that's something special that I'll never forget.
From the time she started playing at 12 years old until we finished at U18, to get to where Stephanie went, to being a North Carolina High School Player of the Year, to going on and playing college soccer, her commitment during that time was unbelievable.
Just a tremendous athlete, not just a tremendous soccer player. I mean, that girl was fast. However fast she needed to be to outrun you, that's how fast she was going to be on that given play. And she was the same way running track. You know, if she was the anchor leg of the relay, however fast she needed to be to walk down whoever was ahead of her, when she got the baton, that was as fast as she needed to be. But, I mean, she could just show up at a track meet and go out there and just smoke everybody. I mean, she was really fast.
There's no girl that I've ever had that was as fast as her. And so when she turned the corner, we were marking it on the board. She was the kind of kid that most teams do not have. She was one, a goal scorer. Two, she was a good leader. And three, just a really great teammate. And a lot of the girls around her fed off of her energy.
Around school, away from the soccer field, she was just, you know, silly, laughing, just funny. But when she crossed that line and it was time to compete, you know, it was like a whole nother persona came on. And she was just absolutely a competitor.
When she got there, I knew that all I had to do was make sure we stopped people, and she was going to score at least 2 or 3 times.
Every year that she was in high school, their last game was winning the state championship and, you know, walking off the field a winner. And there's not many folks that can say that in any sport.
And to see him win the 4 state championships and to go on and do the things she did after school, it was just a privilege.
Well, congratulations. Everything that you are receiving tonight is definitely due. I hope the best for you in the rest of your life.
You made the decision to be great. You have a God-given talent, and you utilized it to the best.
It was a privilege to coach you, a privilege to be a part of your life, and I am so proud of you.
Stephanie, congratulations. It's honor well deserved, and we're all extremely proud of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2023 Providence Bank Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Stephanie Rose.
Wow, thanks. That was all very nice things people said and some very ugly photos. I didn't really prepare a speech, so it's not going to be as polished as Amanda's. But for those of you that did watch me play, I think it's going to be a good representation of me as a player and a person. A little messy, a few so just bear with me. I would like to say that tonight is a huge honor, but I definitely wouldn't be up here without a lot of people in this room and some that weren't able to be here. So I do want to express my gratitude to them, starting off with my mom and dad. From the age of 5 with those ugly bangs you gave me, Mom, you've allowed me to dream of whatever dreams I wanted to be when I grew up, and for me that was to become a soccer player. And you guys gave me the love, the support, the time, unfortunately the money as well, to pursue that passion. So thank you for that. For my brother and my sister who couldn't be here, you guys allowed me to take a lot of Mom and Dad's time to travel with me for soccer games, and you guys were always my biggest cheerleaders and supporters, and for that I'll forever be grateful. To Coach Roger, probably the first person to ever see the potential in me as a player of who I could be. You took a huge chance on me, and I think at that tryout, my life as a soccer player changed tremendously because of you, so thank you for that. For the other individuals, like Anthony Cologne, Bob Tucker, Carlos Padilla, these were just parents that dedicated their time out of their personal lives, whether it be on weekends, summers, even after work, to come out to the soccer field to work not only with me, but with the crew, our crew girls, to allow us to achieve the things that we did. I'm glad you were able to make it tonight, so thank you for that. To Buddy, good old buddy, Carol. You helped me continue to progress as a player, and you also helped me through the struggles of high school as a person. I know I wasn't always easy to deal with, but you allowed me to flourish as both a person and a player, so for that, thank you. To Buttercup, for those who don't know, that's Christopher Mueller, but I call him Buttercup to this day. He was my track coach. Thank you for allowing me to pursue both passions of track and soccer. I know for a fact I was not easy to deal with. I would hide in the dugout at track practices so I wouldn't have to run. And you just let that be, and you still let us play and let us run. We talk about all the times I would go play a White Oak soccer playoff game, travel that night, and the next day I was running in the state track meet. And he allowed us that opportunity to do it and still allowed us to participate in the races. So thank you for that, Buttercup. Always special. For all the people that aren't here, Shelby, you're here, so thanks for that. Even though you had to be, but thank you. For all my friends, Ivory, Cedric, and my teammates, you guys pushed me to be not only a better player, but a better person. And I'm glad that I still stay in touch with a bunch of you guys. It's relationships that I probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for sports. So just to say one more time, thank you all, especially everyone in this room. This recognition isn't just for me, even though my name's up there, it's for all of you guys. All the lessons you've taught me, not only as a player, but as a person, and now as a mother. And these are things that I will continue to teach my son and hopefully coach one day and pass it on to the players behind me. So thank you.
All right, so now let's meet our final inductee for the class of 2023.
We all started playing baseball against each other in Little League, and we all played fiercely against each other. You could even say that there was some animosity towards each other. But then you took these boys and you put them all on one baseball team. And that was just really unfair because you had so many superstars on one team that it was just unbelievable. What was more unbelievable is that with this group of superstars, it was never about one person. It was about a team.
They worked together. They grew up together. Jim Cripe started these guys out when they were probably 4 or 5 years old. Pick them up, take them to play ball on Sundays.
And Mr. L.D. Kennedy, and you know, folks like that from their community that just took these young men under their wings at a very young age and just poured into them.
This team came together as a group of brothers. During the summertime, I probably spent more time with these guys than I did at home.
I mean, these kids all lived in the White Oak High School district. This conglomeration of baseball talent is just, I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again.
You know, it was like my 4th year coaching somewhere in that neighborhood, and I've never been around that much talent on one team. And you know, they were just good athletes, worked hard, easy to get along with. Sometimes we didn't have to do a lot of coaching. We had to do mainly just keep their head in the game or try to keep them focused. And you know, we wanted to go out there and win the ball game. And that's what we did. I think we were 54-0 for the 2 years I was there.
It was a joy to play with them. I learned a lot from them. I learned what it was like to be a part of a team that is selfless and wanted good for everybody.
Those guys, they won back-to-back state 3A championships, but at that time in 1978 and 79, I'm telling you, they could have beat any level. They could have taken on all comers regardless of classification.
7 of those 9 starters went on and played college or professional ball. And that's how special it was to be a part of that team. You know, I coached for 30 years and I never was on another team that had that amount of talent at one time.
People don't really understand the bond that we had, but it was about having fun, and it was something that we thoroughly enjoyed doing.
Watching some of these guys grow up and going to watch some of their games, some that played football and some that played baseball later on.
The fact that these guys rolled out there day in and day out and took on all comers and won 52 straight games, which is still the state record in North Carolina. I think it's still in the top 10 or 12 nationally. It's just, I mean, that level of talent all being together in one place is just unheard of.
All right, I'd like to congratulate the White Oak baseball team for their being honored now to go into the Jacksonville-Onslow County Baseball Hall of Fame. And with me being part of that, that's a special place on my heart that I've always looked forward to doing that. And now I'm here.
I kept the baseball stats for the baseball team at White Oak those years, and I just want to say, guys, congratulations, well overdue. I love you. You're the best.
It's an honor to be part of this team, and it's an honor to be recognized by the Hall of Fame, and thank you for that.
All right, class of 2023 Providence Bank Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Hall of Fame, the 78 and 79 White Oak baseball teams. If you were part of that team, please stand. Accepting for the team is Richard Maddox.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be standing up here representing a group of young men that did something so special. We hold a title that is still #1 in the state today. And to be able to accomplish something like that, you had to have some good people in your life. And that's something that I really want to focus on. In our community, when we played ball, it was a community game. You know, we had our parents, people in our community to support us. Some of us couldn't have rides, so we rode with other people as a group. And they took turns taking us to practice. So that's something that I really appreciate. And that made us, we bonded as a team, we bonded as an individual. And it's something else that when you, in our community, when you win, everybody likes to support winners. And something that we did, we won. For me, my situation, I only lost one game, regular season game in my career. Somebody like Louis Meadows, he came before me. My memory, of course, is 40 years old, we was talking about, he didn't lose a game. So as a team, we were primed and ready about the time we got to high school to win. Also, something that wasn't mentioned, in 1977, we were the North Carolina State champions. So we had already proven, and we went through a lot of adversity when we competed playing ball. So when we got to White Oak, it was, we were ready. Also, when I'm talking about winning, we never lost a regular season game. And what I mean by that, I never lost against a team in Onslow County, or I never lost a conference game. We always lost in the playoff. So when I'm talking about winning, these guys, when it's time to work and practice, we were focused. We wasn't owning God just to bless us with talent. He blessed us with good coaches, and these guys went out there and developed their talent. So what I want to do here, and I know it's a team sport, and I won't be able to reach everybody, but I do want to mention some players that actually got drafted that I was able to play with. Because when you play with guys like that, I never thought I was the best player on the team. Because those guys were so good, I was always trying to catch up with those guys. And I think that competitiveness ran through our bloodline, so everybody wanted to compete. And we competed in a very, it was competitive sometimes, no doubt about it. It was competitive, and that's where good coaches come in at. But I do want to start with like Melvin Meadows. In 1978, Melvin Meadows was drafted in the 13th round by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jeff Horn, in 1980, second-round draft pick by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chucky Kennedy got drafted twice, in 1978 by the Milwaukee Brewers in the 22nd round. Also, in 1981, attending North Carolina State College, Chucky got drafted in the second round by Texas Rangers. Louis Meadows, also attending North Carolina State in 1982, second-round draft pick, Houston Astros. Myself, 13th round draft pick, 1983, New York Yankees. Charlie Farmville, 28th pick, 1984, Seattle Mariners. Charlie Seuss, I didn't get his round, I looked it up, 1986, Cleveland Indians. So when you play against guys like that your whole career, and we all met in Little League at Morton, it puts something in you. And then we had coaches that showed us how to perform and how to work as a group to come up with the same common goal. But on behalf of White Oak High School and the 78-79 championship, it's been my pleasure to give you a background on how what we did and to accept the award. Thank y'all for listening to my story. Thank you.
So White Oak teams, I received a call from Coach McGirt's wife. He's been dealing with some pretty serious back issues and couldn't be here tonight, but he wanted you to know that he was proud of you, and she gave me her phone number to pass along if anyone would like to reach out to him. So if so, you can see me after, and I'll give you that number. So congratulations to the class of 2023. Let's give them all another round of applause. We will now transition to 2024 and meet our first inductee.
Players show up whenever it's time to play. He wanted guys that,
we're going to pull them the same end of the rope together. I want kids that want to be in a foxhole with me.
We're in that foxhole, so to speak. And to this day, I'd be in there with them.
Had a lot of success. Numerous conference championships, trips to the state championship, Eastern Regional Finals. We had a lot of success, and I learned a lot during my time at Dixon.
He ran a top-notch program that competed against many schools that were much larger than Dixon. And I'll bet you that he still has practice schedules dating back to his first year of coaching. And let me say, those practice schedules did not contain a minute of wasted time.
His practices were probably the best practices I've ever seen. I've been around baseball my whole life.
I've had the privilege of playing for a lot of the greatest coaches in minor league baseball history, major league baseball history, Clint Hurdle, Brian Price, and to this day, and I've said this not because it's just an interview, I've said this to countless people, he's the best coach I've ever played for.
He taught me how to be a coach. I thought I knew everything as a baseball player. I thought anybody who hired me they're hitting the lottery. Well, I learned quick that I had a lot to learn when it came to not just being an educator, but learning the craft of coaching, and Jack was an instrumental part of my life in that regard.
He covered everything. Situational baseball, nobody could outcoach him. No team would put his team in a situation that they didn't know how to overcome.
What I admire most about him is the fact that he was dedicated to teaching young boys about being men and not just about being baseball players. Coach Brown knew the grades of his players before we as parents did, not because he was concerned about eligibility, but his focus was on these young men being successful in life beyond baseball.
And I think he's the perfect coach for a lot of kids because, you can tell they come back to see him, speak highly of him. I think the discipline that he instilled, the work ethic. They saw him working on the field every day. They had Saturday practices. There was just a lot of things that if they didn't get that work ethic at home, they were going to get it under Coach Brown.
Whether you loved him or you hated him, it didn't matter. Numbers don't lie. He won. And he You can ask any of his players. If you find him, you can message him, you can call him, you can ask him. He made men. And so, regardless of what people's opinions are, that man led men, he made men, and he won. And when it comes to coaches, that's all you want.
He expected accountability from every player and told them his 3 rules were: be on time, work hard, and don't do anything to embarrass the program or school.
Accountability is something I feel like might be getting a little bit lost nowadays. And that's one thing that I can tell you right now is, now that I don't play for him, haven't played for him for a long time, he still holds me accountable to be a good man, good father, good husband. And so when you instill that into somebody and you have that kind of relationship with someone, and I'm 30 years old and I graduated, almost 13 years ago, there are a lot of life lessons that I use with baseball and softball players I work with, lessons I'll use with my daughter one day. And there's not a lot of people you can say that about.
Congratulations, Jack. And when you go up to be enshrined, try to walk a little faster than you do to the mound to make a pitching change.
Congratulations, Coach Brown, on your selection to the Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Hall of Fame. You may have been selected because you're a great coach, but those of us who know you understand that coaching baseball is not the greatest gift that you gave to our young men. Thank you, and once again, congratulations, Coach Brown.
You could be in the Hall of Fame for a number of things, but your hard work has rubbed off on me, and you've taught me how to work hard, and that's carried me not just in the classroom or on the baseball field, but in life with my family and with my faith. So Jack, congratulations. You deserve every bit of recognition.
Coach Brown, that 14-year-old kid sitting here now, man, so proud of you, so thankful to be a part of those teams, to be a part of the legacy that you're leaving. And, I hope that I can continue to push that legacy forward with the youth now, the accountability. Congratulations, long overdue. Baseball hadn't been the same in this area since you left, so congratulations.
All right, class of 2024 Providence Bank Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Hall of Fame inductee Jack Brown Jr. Come on, quickly, Coach, come on.
Wow. Did y'all read my speech? Chris Miller, has the gag order been lifted? So I may speak now. A lot of y'all don't know about it. You have to talk to Chris about that one. Put my glasses on so I can see. First of all, what honor. First of all, I'd like to thank God and my Savior Jesus Christ for the wonderful opportunity to coach baseball at 16 years. It was some of the best 16 years of my life. And I go to a Confucius quote. He said, choose a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And that's the way I looked at baseball and life, and I'm a building contractor, and I run my business like that, so it's wild. I'd like to thank my mom. She's no longer with us, she's in heaven, and she's looking down with a huge smile. If she was here, she'd say, little Jack, you done good. Because to the day she died, she called me Little Jack. I'd also like to thank Mr. Tony Zavonar. Some of you know Mr. Zavonar. He's the principal that hired me. I appreciate the confidence that he had into me. And I always remember the interview, he said, Coach, I want a program at Dixon that this community can be proud of. And that was one of my biggest goals. Mr. Zavonar supported me 100%. He often said, and this is true, if people aren't complaining, then you're not doing your job. Mrs. Vonar was a former football coach, and he was an old school guy like me. I'd also like to say that during my first 2 years, you're going to love this. People called the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, the principals. They called my best friend David McLeod, best friend I've ever had in my life. He couldn't be here tonight because he had a surgery a few months ago and he's had a few complications, so he couldn't be here tonight. But Mrs. Vonar told me about a phone conversation he had with some parents. Said, who is this crazy baseball coach you hired? Practice at 6 o'clock in the morning before school. He coaches these guys like they're the Atlanta Braves. And Mrs. Vonar replies, what's wrong with that? Initially, some wanted to hang me down in Four Corners just as the patriarchs hung Benito Mussolini at the Piazza Loreto Square in Milan, Italy. Thanks to all the moms, dads, grandparents, aunts and uncles, because we had several kids that, you know, mom and dad was not there. They lived with their grandparents or they lived with their aunts and uncle, and they ended up being very, very supportive of what we're trying to do at Dixon. And they finally realized that I'm not the crazy old man that they thought I was. It's just that I tried to hold my baseball players to a higher standards. I'd like to thank Russell Prince's dad, Homer, because we started a field renovation project one year. And, you know, one of my goals at Dixon, you know, you got to give the kids a great field to play on. And our field was, at best, it was a goat pasture. And Homer dedicated countless hours, his knowledge, skills on the backhoe and the bulldozer to help renovate the new Bulldog baseball field. And I still remember his words to this day. Coach, our players deserve to play on the field that they'll be proud of. And Homer was a huge part of that. And I wanted to give him a round of applause. He's not here anymore, but he's in heaven looking down. Also, a part of our process of having success was develop a summer league program. Dixon had never had a competitive summer league program. They were playing the guys in rec ball, the boy down the street, but I wanted to upgrade that. So Mr. Dave Ryan, he helped organize our first ever summer league baseball program, and that added a lot to our success. And by the way, Dave is my CPA to this day with my construction company, and he keeps me out of the Danbury Federal Penitentiary. I'd like to thank also my baseball coach in high school, John Williams. He's the man that's responsible for me being the man that I am. He passed the torch on to me, and I still recall his words. He said, whatever you do in life, make sure you make a difference. I'd like to thank Jacksonville-Onslow County Sports Commission Hall of Fame for this honor and this prestigious award. And also congratulate all the other recipients, because I feel like I'm a guy standing in high cotton. By the way, I'm that guy right there. I'd like to thank my trusted assistant coaches, Nick Rayner and Dennis Autry. They're here with us. Their timeless hours, loyalty, commitment helped accelerate our program into distinction. Babe Ruth once said, baseball was, is, and will always be the greatest game in the world to me. I felt the same way. Coaching baseball gave me the opportunity to shower my knowledge, to coach baseball and give back, to make a difference in the lives of young men on their rites of passage into manhood. And winning a few games on the way made it fun. Also like to thank Chris Miller and all the other sports writers and the media who covered us, because during those years we won a lot of baseball games. And you helped our program get on the map of greatness. And I still remember my first interview with the Jacksonville Daily News. I don't remember who it was, but it was like in 2001, October of 2001. That's when I got on board Dixon. And they talked to me about baseball, and basically I told them, I want young men who are baseball players, not kids that play baseball. And there's a difference. I'd like to thank the Dixon baseball players I had the pleasure of coaching. They bought into our philosophy to win. Everyone must be pulling on the same rope in the same direction. And hopefully my rules continue to apply in their life. Come to practice every day. Come to practice on time every day. Don't do anything to embarrass this institution or this program. Work hard every day and compete for your position every single day at practice. You're part of something bigger than yourself, and don't do anything to bring attention to yourself. Go with me now to a historical perspective to my first practice, 11 February 2002. And Russell, you're right. There's a couple other guys I'm gonna mention later on. They played baseball for me at another school. And I've got every practice schedule from every team I've ever coached my entire coaching career. I can pull out and tell you exactly what happened on that practice, the summary of the practice. We did that every day. When Coach Alter and Coach Rayner came to the baseball field, first thing I do is give them a script. You got any questions asked? When we go down to the field, we're gonna be on the same page. So that first year, 11 February 2002, I still got the practice schedule. Coach Rayner and Coach Alter, y'all know I was really, really anal about my practice schedule because it was gonna be done and we were gonna go through it and get it done in a hurry. So in the summary section of the first practice schedule on day one, this was my summary statement. And I'm not going to use profanity, but I will say, what the blankety blank have I got myself into? I didn't know how to grip a baseball. The throwing skills were dreadful. A crow hop was unheard of. Cuts and relays was as chaotic as the Taliban running away from a B-52 strike in the Hindu Kush Mountains in Afghanistan. And we went into bunting. This was really funny because anybody knows baseball, if you're going to win, you've got to bunt. And they were like, well, Coach Brown, we're Dixon. We're not supposed to bunt. And I was like, and we won several games with a suicide squeeze. Y'all remember that. At any rate, during these first 2 years, we were laughed at and made fun of. Our uniforms were ugly. The field was awful. We had an old square deep hat like Billy wore in that picture a while ago. I thought I was buying electrical supplies. And I told Mr. DeVonar, when we get through, people will not be laughing at us anymore. We weathered the storms, and the players developed a competitive spirit. And I always told them, if you want to win big games, you've got to play in big games. We played a tough non-conference schedule. That was one of my complaints from some of the parents. Why are you playing West Brunswick? Well, they've been in a couple of state championships. Why are you playing Hoggard? Why are you playing Ash, big 4A school that's got 5 times the number of students we have? But we competed with those guys. And I always told my players, if you want to win at that level, you got to play those guys. That's who you've got to play. The players devoted their summers to the Dixon area first ever junior and American Legion baseball, thanks to Dave Ryan and some other people in the community. We never had that competitive baseball at Dixon. And when we did that, that catapulted our program into success. Being elite requires discipline, special focus, accountability, commitment, paying close attention to detail, always keeping expectations high, and always expect to win. The esprit de corps, and if you want something you've never had, you've got to do things you've never done. Our baseball players brought those intangibles to success, and they rewrote the history book on Dixon High School baseball. Success is not entirely based on wins and losses. Success is how you made a difference in the lives of young men with a special bond in becoming successful citizens. Some of my former players are present in the audience, and I'd like to mention some of them, these remarkable young men. So when I say your name, if you would, please stand up. A couple of these guys played for me at another school, but they're 2 of the finest young men I've ever coached, and they're the picture of success. When they were in the high school, they were the guy you'd want your daughter to bring home for supper. They were great kids. The first one, if you would, stand up when I say name. Outfielder, Lieutenant Colonel retired Ernest Waring, Air Force Academy graduate. He did anything for our team, a true leader on and off the field. Ernie. Right-handed pitcher Chris Coughlin, pitching the Kansas City Royals organization. When I give him the ball, I'd sit down a spell and just relax because in an hour and 27 minutes, the game was over, we won, and he was a true winner. Chris Coughlin. Rookie Davis. Everybody knows Rookie Davis. 4 times All-State, one of a few. Yankees, Reds, Pirates. First kid on the field every day, and the last one to lead every day, every single day. Rookie. And I've got to share a funny story about Rookie and his dad. And we were talking about this earlier. So we were playing at Southwest-Onslow, Rookie's senior year. And I got word from the Southwest-Onslow coach, because a lot of coaches at Southwest are friends of mine. Some of them worked at Dixon. I always said they went to, great coaches that went to Southwest to bring their program up. So, and a couple of these guys, they sent me emails, say, Coach Run, this guy's going to walk Rookie. He said he's not even going to get on the dirt. And I'm like, I got the solution for that. So, Billy, you remember this. It was about 5 minutes before the game started, right before we went out for the change of the umpires. And right before it, I told Billy, I said, Bill, I need to talk to him. He come in the dugout and he said, Coach, is everything all right? I said, yeah, I just need to talk to you. Let's go down the right field line. So I asked Bill, I said, Billy, I'm going to ask you a question. Has Rookie ever led off in his day as a player? And he looked at me and he looked up in the sky and he said, no, Jack, I don't believe he ever has. I said, well, he is tonight. So he pitched to him in the first inning. He hit one about 450 feet over the right center field light pole, and I don't think he pitched to you again the rest of the game. But I guess the point was made. Also, Chris Huey is a multi-all-state catcher, tougher than nails. He's not here tonight. Had a parent tell me one day, he said, you'll never make a catcher out of Huey. Ended up playing as all-state, played in the Junior College World Series. Another young man, he couldn't be here and I wanted him to be, but I talked to him about a month ago, and he got injured in the war. He's 100% disabled now. Rodman Young, second baseman. He was a spark plug on team, type A personality. He did everything he could to win, and he never thought about losing. And like I said, he was in the 82nd Airborne, was injured in the war, and he couldn't make it tonight. And he also played in the Junior College World Series team with Chris Huey. And the last player I'd like to recommend is Aaron Prince. He's sitting right over here. He's with Mr. Consistency. He wasn't the greatest athlete on the team, but he made the routine play a routine play. And as a baseball coach, that's what you really want. In conclusion, thanks to the Jacksonville-Onslow County Sports Commission Hall of Fame for this induction. I'm still pinching myself. When he called me, was it 3 months ago? I thought he was crazy. I was in the gym getting ready to work out, and I'm like, who is this calling me, telling me this? I thought he was a nut. So when I got in my truck after my workout, I started thinking about my mom, and I wish she could be here, but thank you. Once again, congratulations to the other inductees and my former players. We done good. Now it's up to you guys to make a difference. So I pass the torch to you so you to make a difference. And I can honestly say we left the program better than we found it. Thank you.
That leaves us with one inductee to meet, so let's meet our final recipient.
I don't know why Coach selected me out of all people to provide remarks on his behalf, because I did not succeed in getting him a state championship while I was at Northside from 2009 through 2012.
I have so many special and funny memories I could tell you about Coach Marshburn, but this is like one of my favorite ones. My 10th grade year, after the season, Coach Marshburn and my pops had said I needed to go to Coach Marshburn's office and talk to him. That it was very important. So when I get to his office, he's telling me I have to transfer, I can't play for Northside anymore, different things like this. You know, just messing with me, and I'm sick, I'm hurt. I'm like, it's no way, Coach, it's no way. And he basically told me good news by setting me up with the bad news. He told me that I had won Player of the Year in the conference and for the Jacksonville Daily News. So it was just so amazing how he disguised that and made me feel like there were so many complications that something was wrong.
He was, coaching Northside. I was at White Oak, and it was late in the game, and I don't even think it was a close game, but anyway, it was late in the game, and I was out of timeouts, and I mean, not like last few seconds, but I mean, I needed one, and so I looked down the sideline and said, "Cuz, I need a timeout." So he called one for me because I didn't have any more.
Him ending practice early, or having us put the balls up and just running suicides, or, some of the glowing, encouraging language that he had for us when we played Southern Wayne and couldn't get the ball past half court for the whole first half. And those will live with me forever.
You can't really coach somebody unless they trust you, and he had that ability to, kids would trust him because they knew that he cared about them. But then his knowledge of the game of basketball and just ability to teach skills and just get kids to play to their absolute, best, bringing out the best of them.
It's amazing to have someone who's more than a coach, who's almost like a father figure to you. And that's what Coach Marshburn has been to me and so many others.
But now Coach Marshburn has a major impact in my life from everything that he has done for me. He tried to get me in so many schools and colleges for my basketball play and my academics. And I appreciate everything he's done for me. He deserves this more than anyone. And I'm grateful and I'm happy for him and his family. Shout out to Mrs. Marshburn too, for sure.
Personally, he's a tremendous friend. Everybody's got that person that if it's 2 a.m. and you're in trouble, the person that you call, if you need bail money, the person you call, Tony would be that guy for me. So yeah.
I can't think of a better person to receive this honor than Coach Marshburn. His lessons always transcended the court, and he always saw me as a person before a player.
Cuz, we're really proud of you. Congratulations. Very well-deserved honor.
I'm glad I could help you, Coach, and I'm glad you could help me, and I'm glad you're receiving this honor, and you deserve it so much. Love you and your family, Coach.
And so, Coach, I think the world of you. You've always been a Hall of Famer in my eyes. There's Roy Williams, Nick Saban, and Tony Marshburn. You're the man. And I just want to say congratulations again. Love you. I wish you nothing but success, more success. All of it's well-deserved. You've given more than enough to Northside. And on behalf of Northside, on behalf of the basketball team, on behalf of any team that I've ever played on that you've coached, and all of those PE classes where we were trying to do all that we could not to have to go back to our class, I want to say thank you. Job well done.
All right, class of 2024, Providence Bank, Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Tony Marshburn.
Thank you, Greg, for those kind comments. and Mike Morrison. Mike's father's here somewhere. How you doing, Mr. Morrison? Outstanding young man, Zach Hobbs. Just two of the fine players I coached at Northside. I want to read this real quick. You know, I was a little nervous, but my grandson came in today, 7 years old. Granddad, I'm so proud of you. Don't worry about anything ahead of you. Just keep going. So, you know, I cannot disappoint my grandson. And Scott told me earlier that, or a little while ago, we had extra time, so he wanted to know if I could burn 45 minutes. And I said, I only got 9 pages. I'm not sure. But anyway, man, what an honor. You know, in so many ways, you know, I can't explain to you. It's just like Coach Brown said, and I know Stephanie and Amanda and the White Oak baseball team. It's just an unbelievable honor. You know, when I first started coaching many years ago, 35 years ago, I did it because, you know, I was given a job and it was something I wanted to do. And, you know, I just wanted to coach. It didn't matter really what I coached. I coached Tim Foster. Are you here somewhere? Well, there you go. One of our county commissioners. I think Tim was on the very first baseball team I coached, and at Southwest Middle School at the time. And I saw Tim tonight, and I go, Tim, now what year was it that I coached you? I said, I couldn't really remember back that far, you know. But anyway, you know, I just want to say it's been an incredible ride. You know, I've been so blessed in many ways. I just can't, you know, I can't thank God enough. I can't thank my friends, my family. But first of all, I want to thank Scott. Scott called me, and I was somewhere where I didn't have my phone with me, so Scott Smith, he said, call him back. And so when I called him back, the first thing he said was, congratulations. And I was in my car driving, and I had to stop for a minute because I was like, wow. You know, it's just one of those moments where you just kind of, you know, take time to yourself and just go, man, you know, just thank you, God. I'd like to thank the Jacksonville-Onslow Sports Commission, the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for this incredible honor. It's a very humbling experience, and I'm so grateful and appreciative for this honor. Let me just say this. I've been one to always look through the windshield instead of the rearview mirror, always looking ahead at the next task. But this honor has really given me the opportunity to reflect back on parts of my career and to be thankful for the players I coached and for those many people that helped me along the way. There's been many, and I'll mention some tonight, even though I won't be able to mention everybody. I'm still very appreciative. Thank you to Mike Carter. Mike may not want me to recognize, but I'm going to. Mike's a dear friend. Mike was one who nominated me for the Hall of Fame. We've been friends for a long time. Mike, in our younger days, when we used to play softball and basketball for Trinity United Methodist Church. James Wills is here. He played on that team as well when we could actually run and move around. Those are the good old days. You remember that? And of course, Mike's been with the Parks, or was with the Parks and Recreation for many years, and did a great job. So I thank you, Mike, and for doing that. It's truly an honor for me to be standing up here right now again. And I may reiterate this several times, but you know, I want to make sure you get the message. I want to thank my family, my friends. I got classmates here of 1976. We're a pretty tight class. So, you know, I don't do Facebook or Twitter or any social media. So they call me and say, well, look, since you don't do this, here's the news. So, you know, they're here and we're a tight group. Some traveling from out of town, out of state, to be here tonight just to help share and celebrate this very special occasion. You know, here's my mom and dad, they've passed on. I know where they're at, my brother. I know, you know, I was one of these guys very fortunate. You know, my mom and dad, they were just very awesome people, good Christian people. And no matter what I did, they supported me and they provided for me. It wasn't everything I always wanted, but it was everything I always needed. And at the top of the list was love. And, you know, I'm so thankful for my mom and dad. I know they're here in spirit, my brother, and I'm so grateful for them having the opportunity to just, I wish they were here tonight, but I know they're looking down. And I know my mom, she's smiling, and she's having a good time up there, and I know her and my dad are dancing around, and that's the big thing. My wife, Kathy, thank you for all your unwavering support. You know, Kathy, I coached in a lot of games, you know, and after the basketball games, she always had cookies or cakes or cupcakes. She would spend time to make sure after the game our players had either cookies, cupcakes, or cakes. And when we run into a former player, they thank her. And, you know, like they want more cookies, you know. But anyway, you know, my daughter Brittany's here tonight. I love you, girl. You know, she's a wonderful mother. She's a wonderful daughter. Her husband Jake couldn't be here. But, you know, Brittany, I'm so proud of you. You know, you're just an amazing girl. And I'm so thankful for you as my daughter. I love you very much. My grandson, Grant, wave, Grant. They want you to wave at him. There you go. He's my big hero. You know, he called me last night, you know, it's probably one of the biggest days of my career. And my grandson calls me about 9 o'clock, and he goes, Granddaddy, he goes, you know, can we throw the football when I get there tomorrow? You know, I go, yeah. So, you know, I had to make sure that when they got here today that there was time to throw the football with Grant, and that's what we did. That's what we did. But anyway, Grant, you're an awesome, and keep up the good work, buddy. My sister Gail and brother-in-law Ronnie, you know, I can't thank you enough for all the times you've been there for me and our family. Growing up, Gail was the best sister ever. You're an amazing sister, someone I'm so proud of. Thank you and Ronnie for always being there for me. You're amazing. I'm actually younger than her. You know, everybody goes, well, how much older are you than your son? I go, well, I'm actually younger. But, you know, she's an amazing, amazing person. My nephew, Ryan came in from Atlanta. Thank you, Ryan. Susan and your children, Davis, Bennett, and Lily, for your love and support for Uncle Bud. And my niece, Jacqueline, her husband, Hank, and their children, Christian and Bella, couldn't be here tonight. And again, I thank them for their love and support for Uncle Bud. Around my nephews and nieces' kids, that's my name. I'm Uncle Bud. So, you know, that's where that comes from. My niece, Michelle, nephews, Danny Jr. and Billy, they're not here tonight, but I thank them as well for their love and support. I got a cousin here, Wade Brown. You may know Wade. Wade don't like to talk, you know. So I brought Wade tonight so we'd have some silence at the table. But anyway, but throughout the years, Wade has always been a huge supporter of athletics, and I thank him, his family, and his brothers for being here tonight. So thank you, Wade. Appreciate it. Thank you. You know, I come to the point where I want to thank a lot of people I work with. You know, whether you were an administrator, athletic director, teacher, assistant, guidance counselor, Miss Barbie, thank you so much. Office staff, custodians, scorekeepers, managers, announcers, parents, volunteers. You know, it takes a lot of people as a coach to make things work. And it's really everybody working together. And I called on a lot of people, not just my basketball assistants. I called on a lot of people around school. And, you know, it was a team effort. And I expected a team effort from my players, but, I felt like, we also needed a team effort around our school and our campus. And I was fortunate to get that. Chris, you're going to like this, Chris Miller. I thank the media for their coverage. Chris Miller's in the back. Chris, you've covered us for a long time. And you know more probably about my history than I know. Because, I don't remember what year you started. And by the way, I coached Chris, too, in football at White Oak. Chris, I hope I treated you good. But, Chris, you've done an amazing job. Through the years, you've covered us. You've always taken care of my players and our program. After a game, Chris would be waiting at the door to interview some of the kids. And he'd always tell me on the way in, he goes, Coach, can I see so-and-so tonight? So the kids, they were waiting for me to finish for two reasons, my short talk. Number one, so they could eat cookies. And number two, they wanted to know who was going to talk to Chris Miller outside the door. So whoever it was, the team would clap and cheer if I said, okay, so-and-so, Chris Miller wants to see you. Everybody was clapping and cheering. So, Chris, thank you so much for doing a fantastic job. And thank you for the members of the community, businesses, churches, Fellowship of Christian Athletes for your support as well. I got a ring right here. And it took a lot of support from the community for our players to get these rings, as well as a lot of other things that a school needs or athletic teams need. I know Roger Carroll, I've called on you before, Billy Sewell, and a lot of you. And I don't mean to just single anybody out, but you've reached, you've always answered the bell when I called. And I thank the FCA for always being there to help us and feed us meals when that phone call was made. I did not accomplish anything alone. There are many people who played a huge role in helping me achieve goals and experience success. There's many people. I'm the person standing up here tonight, but I got a lot of texts from my players and just friends and former people that I've known through the years. And I said, you're all part of this honor, and I truly mean that. I just feel like still I was a small part, but I feel like, I was given the opportunity, and therefore I feel blessed. I worked alongside so many good coaches throughout the years, learned from them in the process. Coaching is a brotherhood, like a fraternity, and I'm grateful to have the opportunities that were given to me. Whether you coach together or against each other, you develop lifetime friendships, and I'm thankful for those friendships. Jimmy Smith, are you here tonight? Jimmy and I coached together, and Phil Padgett coached in that conference, and we had a great time. And Jimmy, should I tell the story about the timeout? Okay, so we go to South and North, okay, and I got to tell this story. It's hilarious. Anyway, Jimmy's a great friend. And anyway, South and North, we're in a great conference, by the way, 2A conference, and a lot of good coaches, players, teams, and it's just a lot of fun. So we go to South and North for the first time. We're ranked number 7 in the state, okay? And Jimmy, I know Jimmy's a great coach. He runs the Princeton stuff, backdoor cuts. Your defense has to be really good and prepared. And the whole way I'm scratching, I'm going, man, should I play zone against him? Well, we don't play zone. That's kind of the thought he put in my head. But anyway, so we go into the gym, we run out, and his fans are like the Duke crazies. They're holding up the newspapers when our kids run out, and being cool. And anyway, they start yelling weak side. We're north side. So they start yelling weak side. Well, our fans hear what they're saying. So our fans stand up. Now, this is before the game, and they're yelling north side. So before the game, there's already a battle. North side, weak side, north side, weak side. And I'm thinking, geez, this is going on already. Well, so we're playing, and we started the game, and it kind of simmers down a little bit, but still the fans are really into it. And something happened. I don't remember what it was. And I looked down the bench, and Jimmy wears a towel around his neck. You know, and that was smart because if he had something to say, he would just bite his towel. Like if he didn't like the call or something like that. Well, there was a particular call, I think, against him, his team. And I looked down there, and Jimmy was given the timeout sign, but it wasn't so much the timeout sign. It was one finger standing up, and I couldn't believe it. I called Phil Padgett, and I said, Phil, you won't believe what Jimmy did tonight. And Phil goes, it doesn't surprise me, you know. But Jimmy, you know, I'm just kidding with you, man. You're a great friend, and it's always been a pleasure coaching and playing golf with you, man. You're an outstanding guy, even if you are a State fan. But anyway, but I cherish those friendships still. My players, I want to talk about them. You know, that's why I coached. My players knew several things. They knew I cared about them. They knew I believed in them. And they always knew that. There was no doubt. There was no question. I feel so blessed to have coached so many outstanding players. I always thank them for their hard work, sacrifice, you know, teamwork. You know, you really had to get kids to buy in to the team aspect. You know, and I tried to really emphasize that, and I made it a point of emphasis. And I was fortunate over the years, Southwest, White Oak, and Northside, to have players buy into that concept. You know, it's the same thing you want in a business or an organization, okay? You want teamwork. And I tell you one thing I do miss more than anything else probably about coaching, other than being around the coaches and the players and the competitiveness. I miss the energy, the enthusiasm, and the excitement. You know, there was never a dull moment. You know, kids, I mean, when they come to school, we're players, and, you know, except when we're running, you know, they just have that energy and that enthusiasm, that excitement. And I always used to just love that. You know, and maybe that's why I did it for so long, because it helped keep me young. And, you know, it was so much fun and so much rewarding. And I hope it was as much fun for my players as it was for me. One of my goals as a coach was to help my players become the best and most successful person and player they could be. I just felt like that was one of my goals, and it was my job. My job was to prepare them, have them ready to play. There's a fine line between winning and losing. And I always wanted my players to experience success, celebrate those winning and teachable moments. You know, we lost some, and there's teachable moments in that as well. But I always wanted to just make sure I had my players prepared so we could win. Being born and raised in Jacksonville-Onslow County, began playing organized sports at a very young age. Jack came me at Parks and Recreation. At an early age 9, football, baseball, basketball, you know, that's what we did. And that was our love. This is when my love for sports really began. I was fortunate enough to be a member of the 1972, and this is in the program, but I want to mention some people here tonight. State championship baseball team. There's 2 other Hall of Fame members. We were teammates on that team, Leander Green and Phil Padgett. And Hall of Fame member Ken Hagan was actually one of the 2 athletic directors, along with Rex Bird at that time. And they did an outstanding job of organizing and all that. There's another member, Tim Stewart. Would you stand up, please? Tim Stewart was on that team as well. And is there anybody else here tonight in attendance that was on that team? You know, just a very special time for all of us. Scott, do I have 30 minutes left? Okay. 30 seconds. I'll be, I'm on page 2. But, okay, I'm going to hurry up. I'm at the end of page 2. I began my coaching, teaching career in the 80s and retired in 2018. Mostly basketball, football, some golf, some baseball. I want to mention the people that hired me. Mr. Jay Randall, a guy I have great respect for. He was my high school basketball coach at Jacksonville. he also offered me my first job as a coach at Southwest High and Middle School. And, I was very fortunate there. I coached some really good athletes. Roger Carroll was there. I didn't coach Roger, but I coached his two brothers. Of course, Tim Foster, a kid by the name of Marcus Jones, his #1 draft pick in the NFL during his day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And there were many more. Southwest had some really good athletes. And, I coached with Phil Padgett. We were friends growing up, and I mentioned this earlier. And he was an outstanding football coach, even, at an early age. He was a very bright mind, just knew football. And, he's a great friend. There's a table back there, table number 21. A lot of guys I grew up together with, and Phil was part of that group. And they're here tonight. But, Phil was our brother. We all know that. He was one of our brothers. And but Phil was an outstanding mind. You don't win 4 state championships by luck and by accident. I coached at Northwood Pittsboro, good friend Eddie Thigpen, football, basketball. I coached at Rosewood, Southern Wayne for a while. And, I had an unfortunate situation back in 1993, August 8th. My mother passed away. Visiting my father on numerous occasions really helped me realize that I want to spend more time with my dad and come back home to Jacksonville. I'd come home and my father just didn't seem like the same guy, but it seemed like when I came back or my sister came back, he would get back to normal. So I just felt like it was if I got the opportunity, I was coming back home. Plus, I wanted to come back home anyway and spend time with my dad and coach here again. And Mr. Wiggins, I'll always be thankful at White Oak High School for giving me the opportunity. Position came open, and at White Oak, I coached basketball. Greg Grantham and Wendy, y'all were incredible friends, and I was so fortunate to work with you, Greg, and you're still a great friend, no matter what. I know Greg said that about me, but, I'm not trying to reciprocate or anything like that. But Greg's always been a valued friend and always great to work with. Coach Rick Hammonds, I'll talk more about you later. I coached a lot of young men. Some of the parents are here tonight, outstanding young men in football and basketball. And, I worked with Coach Jack Bell, Hall of Fame member, one of my good friends, Robbie Ellis. I just feel very fortunate. I had a great staff over there, by the way. Chris Mueller was there, did a great job at track. I'd like to point that out. Let me say a few more things. I think I'm down to 14 minutes. But anyway, at Northside, I got to talk about this. Northside was a different situation. Dr. Laurie Spring, I know you're in here and you probably don't want me to recognize you, but I'm going to. I thank you so much for hiring me and giving me the opportunity, Dr. Spring. I'm grateful forever to be the first basketball coach in school history, and you gave me that opportunity, and you were great to work with. You were awesome, and I'm always appreciative and very grateful for that. We had our challenges, to say the least. Being a brand new school, everything was new, and the equipment, the desk, everything, the students. But the first year was a challenge. I met some of my players over the summer, and there was not a player on the team that I'd coached that was going to be on my eventual basketball team. And none of the players from White Oak that came over had played JV for Coach Hammonds and me at White Oak. So most of them came from Jacksonville, where they were transfers in, or they actually came from the middle school. And you got to remember that first year we didn't have any seniors. Okay, it was 9th, 10th, 11th graders, so I had to keep some 9th graders and 10th graders and 11th graders. And, it was an incredible challenge. but we made it work. You know, we won our first 4 games. We lost our next 3 by a combined score of 100 points. And I'm thinking about what maybe somebody else said earlier, you know, geez. But anyway, you know what? I never lost hope. I always believed in my players. And I knew, you know, that and not really knowing my players, but I knew if they listened to me, we would do better. But we played 3 really good teams. Well, things got better. And through some practices and just some talks with the guys, you know, they had to believe in me as well. I believed in them. They had to believe in me. I was new to them. They were new to me. And, you know, you got to talk to young people. You can't assume. So I had many talks with them. And, you know, that year we finished 3rd in the conference, a remarkable, you know, just season for a group of guys that just didn't really never played varsity basketball before. And we just did some incredible things. We made the 2A state playoffs. We played in the tournament, conference tournament championship game that year. We beat Richlands. Then we beat East Carteret, who had beaten us 3 times already, but we beat them and got to play Tim Foster and Southwest for the championship. And it was a great game. I mean, it came down to the wire. Southwest ended up winning, but Tim had a really good team and did a great job of coaching them. But I thought that first year kind of set the tone for us. We played for the conference tournament championship 7 years in a row, you know, and we did some other things as a program, you know, where I'm so proud of the players. You know, I'd like to also say thanks to Hall of Famer and athletic director at the time, Mike Smith. He passed away. What a great man. I was so fortunate to work with him. Straight shooter. Just told you like it was. But you know what? If Mike didn't have the answer, he didn't assume and just tell you something, he would find the answer. And it's exactly what we needed at Northside because we were all a new school. And we needed a lot of answers, and Mike, you know, was always there to help us. Bob Eason was our football coach. Enjoyed working with Bob and Angela Buchanan. And like I said, that first year was really a tremendous challenge. You know, I just want to say this, and we had a lot of success, and I'm proud of that. Our teams, 2017, we won the state championship. Couple things here. We weren't ranked number 1 in the East. That was Green Central. I got to tell you a little story. I'm almost done, Scott. Okay, well, yeah. I'm sorry. I know y'all ready to leave. But I told you this was an exciting night for me, and, you know, I'm not going to let you leave. Hey, it's overtime, Scott. It's overtime. But anyway, you know, we're playing Green Central, and I'd scouted them 2 or 3 times already, but we had a tough road ahead. Fairmont, who we'd never beat. Clinton had 2 losses. We were one of their, we beat them early in the season at their place, and it came down to the wire. Like, you know, I think we hit a 3-pointer late in the game and hit some free throws, and they missed some, and we ended up beating them. But they were very talented, very good, and a lot bigger than us. Not more athletic, but, you know, very physical team. Anyway, Green Central was the team that I really had. I said, you know what? These guys they're pretty good. Went and scouted them 3 times, and they had a big kid in the middle, 6'8", that played at UNC Wilmington. They had another guy about 6'6". He could jump out of the gym, you know. But I thought we had a perfect game plan. We played them, and we're playing them at Fayetteville State University, and this is the Eastern Regionals. This is the winner goes to the state championship game. And, I mean, we were fortunate to beat Fairmont and Clinton and a few other schools. They weren't easy wins, but we managed to beat them at our place. We're playing Green Central, and I thought we had the perfect game plan. And, you know, we're up 12, 14 points. And I told one of my players, I said, whatever you do, do not leave Pigford. We were going to double Amaji Dodd. We had that plan. We were going to let 2 other guards shoot. But, you know, I said, whatever you do, your only assignment tonight is you got a guard and don't leave him. Every time the shot goes up, you put your nose in his chest, you box him out. And I feel pretty good about that if you do that. Oh, we're rolling. We're up 12 points. And all of a sudden, guy drives from this side over here, and my player who's guarding Pickford, he steps in to help out. They throw an alley-oop. Pickford, he's like elbows and shoulders above the rim, and he slams it down. And all 800 people from Snow Hill were standing up and rocking the place. And I'm thinking, unbelievable. So I'm running down the floor, and I'm calling timeout, but, you know, in certain words. And anyway, I go, Mike, I said, I gave you one responsibility, bud. I said, you don't leave Pickford. He goes, I got you, Coach, I got you. Well, the place is already rocking. And anyway, they got momentum. We're up 6 points at halftime. I go in the locker room. I tell the guys, I tell the coaches, I say, we're not changing anything. We got a great game plan. We're not changing anything. And we didn't. And I know the coach were thinking, man, he's really lost it. But I just felt good about our game plan. We come out to start the second half, and I know Rick remembers this. They go up, they score the first 4 points of the second half. And a coach on each side is elbowing, you got to call timeout, you got to call timeout. And I'll never forget, I looked both of them in the eye and I said, I'm not calling timeout. We're going to find out right now how good we are. Right this moment, we're going to find out how good we are. We went on a 16-0 run, won the game. It was never in doubt, won by 25 points. But, you know, I'm glad we won. Because, I don't know, because I'd have hated to look back and go, well, we didn't call timeout. But anyway, played for the state championship, won it. Played great that game. On the way home, and I'm going to end on this after one more thing. But anyway, Scott, I'm sorry, man. Anyway, we're riding home. And I asked the players where you want to eat. And they go, McDonald's. I'm thinking, okay, we just won a state championship and you want to eat McDonald's. I go, okay, great. We're going to go to McDonald's. So we walk in McDonald's in Smithfield, North Carolina. It was Benson area. And we went to McDonald's in the Benson area, I think at Fuquay Arena exit. Well, we're in McDonald's, and all of a sudden, all these people start standing up. We're getting a standing ovation in McDonald's. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. I've been in McDonald's 1,000 times. I've never seen this happen. So, I mean, we're standing, and they don't just clap and sit. They're standing. And like the whole place, even the workers are standing. And I just go, amazing, amazing. And then we get to Richlands. I get a phone call from Mike Smith. Mike Smith calls, where you at? I go, well, we're in Richlands. He goes, okay. I thought it was odd. And I go, well, I wonder what happened. Something happened. Anyway, we're cruising down Western Boulevard, main intersection, and I see all these police lights. I'm thinking, man, something's happened. Something bad's happened. So we get up to the intersection at the stoplight, and there's no wreck. I don't see anybody except 2 or 3 police cars. Well, the police cars kind of pull out, and I get it. I go, we're getting a police escort back to the school. So at about 11 or 11:30 at night, they don't run the sirens to wake up neighbors in the neighborhood, but we're getting a police escort just like college. And the kids are running up to the front of the bus going, Coach, man, this is awesome. They couldn't believe it, and I couldn't either, but I just thought it was a neat thing, and I wanted to mention that to you. Rick Hammonds, thank you for all you did to help our players and program to be successful. We coached together for 23 years at White Oak Northside. Your loyalty, commitment will always be greatly appreciated. Scott Barton, Patrick Clark, Seneca Hill, Al Hobbs, Kendrick Pollock, thank you for your time, commitment, dedication, leadership you gave the players and the program as well. And I'm going to mention these other guys, and I'll be done almost, Scott. Randy Bazin, Waylon Bryant, Marcellus Hampton Perez, Derek Jones, Mike Kellerman, Jerry Mallard, D.C. Mitchell, Robert Monk, Jason Rogers, Tony Warlick. These were guys that are also coaches in our program, and I just feel like I had to mention their name. I'm so blessed, and Scott, this is it. I'm so blessed to have coached so many outstanding players in different sports at different schools. What an incredible ride it was for 35 years. Thank the players for the opportunity to have coached you. Your commitment, dedication inspired me as a coach, and still appreciate your texts. I thank the coaches for your dedication, commitment, and as I said earlier, I did not accomplish anything alone, but by God's grace and your help, we accomplished a lot together. Thank you.
Let's hear it again for the class of 2024. All right, so thanks to Tony, we're up to the point we can announce the class of 2026 since we've been here for a while. So as we wind down the evening, again, I want to give a big thank you to Providence Bank. So thank you very much. Thank you to Marine Chevy and to Golden Corral. If there's anyone you know that you feel should be in the Hall of Fame, again, the nomination forms are on our website. So please go nominate. We've got some great folks. So let's, Marisa, if you'll bring over, we're going to draw for our 50-50 winner. If you bought a 50-50 ticket, please stand. How much we got? All right. You got a ticket? So if you'll stand, if you bought a ticket, and then you can sit down once I call a number you don't have. Good grief. So half is 186, right? I can't see it.
It's okay. 277 2824.
Who's got it?
Should be a red ticket.
You got it? All right. Take it. All right, this is a reminder. If you want a silent auction item, you will find a certificate with your name on it out in the hallway. You can take that up and collect it and pay for it. So as I wrap up this evening, thank you very much. As we draw the curtain on this evening, I'm filled with admiration for each and every one of you. This event has been a celebration of excellence, a tribute to passion, and a testament to the hard work that drives individuals and teams to greatness. Tonight, we've witnessed the stories of extraordinary individuals who have left an indelible mark of their respective fields. Their journeys have been filled with challenges, triumphs, and unwavering dedication. Their paths were not always paved with ease, but their unwavering commitment to their craft has set them apart, and this is the reason we have honored them tonight. So I hope you'll let tonight's events be a source of inspiration for the dreamers, the doers, and the believers. Let it serve as a reminder that greatness is not reserved for a select few, but rather it is within the reach of those who dare to dream, work tirelessly, and continue in the face of adversity. As we leave tonight, let us carry with us the spirit of these inductees. Let us embrace the challenges that come our way, knowing that there are opportunities in disguise. Let us fuel our ambitions with passion, determination, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Congratulations once again to our inductees. May the stories we've heard tonight echo in our hearts and minds, motivating us to aim higher, work harder, and make a lasting impact in our respective spheres. Thank you all, and good night.